Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be talking about the 10 most successful position changes of all time. Just a reminder that if you enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe. Gareth Bale, left back to left wing. Bale started his career off in the Championship with Southampton, where he operated as a left back, where from time to time he showed off his offensive capabilities, and was named Championship Young Player of the Year while playing as a left back. He transferred to Tottenham for £5 million the following season, and still operated as a left back for a few seasons. Bale didn't seem up to the standard of the Premier League, and didn't even look worth the £5 million Spurs spent on him. Even Bale himself probably couldn't expect what was to come from him next season. Usually we see wingers move from winger to fullback, but in this case we saw Bale make the leap forward from left back to left wing. Bale announced his newly found position to the world on the European stage by scoring a hat-trick against Inter Milan in the Champions League knockout round. He continued this success in the Premier League over the next few seasons, but his final season in the Premier League was outstanding. The 23-year-old at the time in 33 games scored 21 and assisted 9, almost contributing to a goal a game. Bale absolutely lit up the Premier League and was undoubtedly the best player in the league. This drew interest from Europe's elite teams, but Real Madrid beat the rest to his signature, paying a world record transfer fee of £85 million. Bale has won 12 major trophies while playing at Real Madrid, including a La Liga title and 4 Champions League trophies that include their famous 3 in a row. Bale's change in position turned him from a good Championship left back to one of the best players in the world, and no one saw it coming. Lionel Messi, right wing to false 9. Lionel Messi is arguably the best player ever to live, and his career could have turned out very different for a few reasons. The first reason being Messi was extremely small before joining Barcelona's youth academy, and was forced to take growth hormone pills to counteract that. Had he not have taken those growth hormones, he might not have become a professional footballer at all, as he probably would have been under 5 foot tall. Originally when he broke out through the first team, he was played on the right wing, where he showed his incredible finishing ability and godlike dribbling. The introduction of revolutionary manager Pep Guardiola and the timing of David Villa and Samuel Eto'o's departure saw a gap open for Barcelona's striker spot. Guardiola knew Messi would be wasted as an out-and-out striker, as he wouldn't be able to utilise his technical abilities. Messi played as a false 9 for the first time against Real Madrid in El Clasico in an incredible 6-2 victory, where Messi assisted and scored 2, being the key player in the victory. Messi's combination of vision, passing, ball control and finishing makes him the perfect player to operate that role, and another player will probably never do it better. Cristiano Ronaldo, left wing to striker. In Ronaldo's early playing days at United, he was often called a show pony for his flashy style of play that made him so unpredictable. His teammate Ruud van Nistelrooy often complained as he never knew when a cross was coming in, if at all. He improved season after season, with his most prolific season at Manchester being his penultimate, scoring a whopping 31 from 34 games in the Premier League. These kinds of performances earned him a record-breaking transfer to Real Madrid for £80 million. Ronaldo remained on the left wing for a couple of seasons in Madrid, and his score tally kept growing. The introduction of new manager Zidane saw Ronaldo move centrally to striker, which was a seamless transition as he is a tall, strong player with clinical finishing. This position change was the fuel to Real Madrid's 3 Champions League wins in a row, and Ronaldo breaking the Champions League goal-scoring record in a single season and overall. In recent times we've seen how much Real Madrid struggle without CR7, which shows how influential he was on the side's success. Lukasz Piszczek, striker to right back. Piszczek started his career off in Poland as a rather prolific striker at youth level, where he broke many goal-scoring records at the 2003 Polish Youth Championship and was the top goal scorer at the Under-19 2004 Euros. Piszczek then transferred to Hertha Berlin, where he was brought in as a striker but found himself playing as an attacking midfielder and often as a winger due to competition for the striker spot. After an injury to Hertha's starting right back, he then covered for his teammate while he was absent, but after his return was forced to reside on the bench. The next season Hertha's right back was moved into centre back, making a space for Piszczek to reclaim his starting spot in right back. Piszczek's contract expired and he received an offer from Dortmund to play in his newly found role as a right back, and he accepted. Ever since he's played over 250 times for Dortmund, winning 2 Bundesliga titles and even getting into the Bundesliga team of the season twice, featuring as a right back both times. For Piszczek to go under such a drastic change across his career, it's fair to say this was a success. Javier Mascherano, defensive midfielder to centre back. Mascherano started his career off in South America with stints at River Plate and Corinthians before a season at West Ham, to then find his feet at Liverpool, where he finished his first season there with a Champions League runners-up medal. Mascherano, while at Liverpool, was a solid holding midfielder, able to throw himself around and make a last-ditch tackle, while also being a great distributor of the ball from deep. Mascherano was a key figure in the heart of Liverpool's midfield for 3 years, showing great temperament on the ball under pressure, with his peer Xabi Alonso quoted saying, "very mature for his age." Following his impressive performances, he earned himself a €24 million move to Barcelona, where he featured in midfield but mainly as a sub. His quality was shown, but he was clearly not good enough to earn himself a spot in a midfield trio of Xavi, Iniesta and Busquets, but there's absolutely no shame in that. Guardiola noticed his defensive capability accompanied by his talent on the ball, which is perfectly suited to a Barcelona ball-playing centre-back, as Barca play such heavy possession football. This move to centre-back allowed him to feature in his side, where he won 19 major trophies, including 5 La Liga titles and 2 Champions League trophies. Mascherano's adaptation to centre-back was the best move he could ever make in his career, and allowed him to go down in history alongside other greats in Guardiola's Barcelona team. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, reserve right wing to world-class right-back. Wan-Bissaka emerged to the Crystal Palace youth ranks as a right winger. After an injury crisis to Palace's right backs, Wan-Bissaka was asked to play there in a training match with the first team. Little did Roy Hodgson know, he found a diamond in the rough, as Wan-Bissaka showed he was probably the best one-on-one tackler at the club and still had his winger capabilities like pace and technique. He played there for the remainder of the season and won the Premier League Player of the Month award at the first time of asking in March. He was a key player for Palace the following season in right back, winning 4 of the club's Player of the Month awards, and was named Palace's Player of the Season, which earned him a £45 million move to Manchester United. He kept a clean sheet on his debut in a 4-0 win against Chelsea and has kept his form, shutting down players like Sterling, Son and Aubameyang. And to think this elite player would have probably gone on to be an average winger at Palace if it wasn't for an injury to their right back. Bastien Schweinsteiger, left wing to centre mid. Schweinsteiger was originally an inconsistent, unserious left winger when he first arrived at Bayern Munich in 2009. The Bayern manager at the time, Louis van Gaal, noticed he wasn't suited to playing on the wing, even though he had undoubted talent on the ball. After stints back and forth from the reserve team, Van Gaal gave him his first start in centre mid, where Schweinsteiger said he prefers, now he's always close to the ball, so he could control what he was doing more and deciding where he received the ball. From then on, Schweinsteiger's role was always to set the tempo of the game, with the ability to ping a pass and could often release a cannon of a shot from distance. Schweinsteiger's unseriousness apparently improved after he sat beside Germany's Chancellor, Angela Merkel, at a Germany vs Austria match, where he was banned, and she said to him, "You shouldn't do the same stupid things again." Schweinsteiger's attitude and performances completely changed thereafter, as he said, "When Frau Chancellor says you should do something, you do it." This made Schweinsteiger devoted to improving himself as a player and as a person. His work showed in the 2014 World Cup, as he was the engine of Germany's midfield and went on to win the competition. There are a few factors that contribute to Schweinsteiger's position change, but either way it's one for the history books. Philipp Lahm, right back to holding midfielder. We often see fullbacks and wingers fluctuate, but it takes a different kind of player to move from right back to holding midfielder. Lahm throughout his entire career was a solid right back and got the job done, and ended up being a perfect captain for Bayern with his cool temperament, having never gotten a red card in his career. Upon the arrival of Pep Guardiola at Bayern in 2013, the tactical mastermind saw Lahm's maturity on the ball and transferred him to a holding midfielder role where he could dictate the tempo of the base of midfield, starting attacks for Bayern and stopping them for the opposition. Following his change that season, he captained Bayern Munich to beat German rivals Dortmund in the Champions League final. Later that summer, he captained Germany to winning the World Cup, featuring as a holding midfielder. Lahm's position change possibly had the most success in history, having won the 2 most coveted trophies in football the same year he switched positions, especially since he captained the sides on both occasions. Sergio Ramos, right back to centre back. Ramos started his career off in Sevilla, where he operated as a right back, where he impressed, earning himself a €27 million move after only 1 year of first team experience, showing just how good he was. He continued to play as a right back, as Real Madrid's centre back spot had a lot of contention. It took a few seasons for Ramos to become a mainstay in the centre-back spot, but once he did, he showed his defensive class, throwing himself at every tackle. By doing this, he often received red cards, but it's mainly down to his fiery style of play. He received an all-time La Liga record of 20 red cards and 26 in all competitions. Ramos has a name for scoring goals despite being a central defender, coming in when Madrid needs him most. In total, Ramos has scored 97 goals at club level and 21 at national level, and he's recently broken the record for most goals scored by a La Liga defender. Overall, Ramos' switch from right back to centre back will go down his history as one of the most successful. Vincent Kompany, centre mid to centre back. It's stupid looking back on it now to think that Kompany was brought into Man City to dominate the midfield, since we know him so well as a tough tackling centre back. Steve Bruce, the City manager at the time, intended on playing him as a powerhouse midfielder, but upon arrival to City, Bruce noticed his talent would be better used further back. And how right he was, Kompany was quickly one of the most solid centre-backs in the Premier League, with his accurate tackling and aerial presence. In 2011, his on-field presence among the team was recognised and he was given the captaincy. Later that season, he would lift the Premier League trophy for City for the first time in their history. Kompany would go on to captain the side to another 3 Premier League titles, 2 FA Cups and 6 other domestic cups, and went down in history as one of the best centre-backs ever to play in the league. That's it from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time.
Feel like solo, flying in the M-Falcon. Come up, but I'm the one make it happen. With the squad, yeah, lead